Hey everyone, it's almost the end of August in 2018. It's Sunday, the 26th. And I've been thinking lately about the last 10 years. And it's got me worried, especially with what I'm seeing in the economy overall. I'm really worried. And the reason 10 years is that 10 years ago in 2008 was pretty much the start of the Great Recession. It was probably around this time frame, August, September, something like that, that things really hit the fan. And we were in a pretty dramatic time of turmoil. And it wasn't that long ago. I mean, to me, it seems like it could have been yesterday. But what's got me worried is that I'm seeing signs lately that it feels like the lessons that we said we learned after that event hasn't taken root, right? And what I mean by that is that when I look around, the stock market is at a record high. In fact, the S&P 500 index just made a new record high on Friday. People are wildly and perhaps even overly optimistic about the state of the economy overall. I read an article the other week about folks buying houses sight unseen. Unemployment is low, and people think that there's going to be a shortage of labor and all that. And a lot of these factors are very reminiscent of that time period right before the recession took hold, late 2007, most of the beginning of 2008. I remember at my company, we were arguing with ourselves to take on new real estate because we were anticipating a lot of growth and a lot of new work coming in. We hired a bunch of new people. Everybody was projecting that the good times was just going to grow at a crazy rate. And back then, banks were lending almost sight unseen. You can just apply and claim that you made a certain income and they would sign your loans. Today, things are a little different and a little better, but overall, it seems like we've lost a lot of the lessons and the fear from that time period. Clearly, underwriting for mortgages and whatnot are more robust today than they were 10 years ago. But I can sense, and this is difficult because you really shouldn't make financial decisions on emotion, right? And what I'm speaking about right here is a feeling. Which is another word for an emotion. I can call it intuition if you like, but at the end of the day, I don't really have hard data to back any of this up. It's just bits and pieces of information and data points that gets me worried, right? I've taken some action and, maybe I'll kick myself for it because the other side of the coin is that if you are fearful and don't fully invest in the economy or the stock market, you can really lose out, right? There's a study that says, you only need to miss like the last 10, highest gaining days of the market over the, last 5 or 10 years or something to see your overall returns really crippled. So, I think about that too. And that's the advice. That's why they give the advice to be fully invested, because you really shouldn't time the market. And I fight with myself because I'm trying to time the market right now, just because I'm worried. And what I'm doing personally is to have 25% of my portfolio just in cash, and I've probably had it in cash since the beginning of the year. So that's a full 8 months, pretty much, that my money is really not working for me, right? And even though the gains in 2018 are not as great as they were in 2017, where we were hitting, 23, 24%. It's still not bad, right? So there's a side of me that says, am I doing the right thing, and really questioning myself. But I'm truly worried. And that's why I have such a large cash position, because my thinking is that when the shit does hit the fan, and whether it's, a year from now or 2 months or 3 months, whatever it is, that will be a buying opportunity. But it's only a buying opportunity if you have money to spend. And that's the reason why I'm holding cash. I'm still 75% invested in the market. So I'm not completely gambling, I guess, but it feels like it's gambling. But there's a very strong sense that we're way too optimistic and have forgotten all the lessons that were really hard fought and learned, in the last recession. And people are saying some of the things that I just shake my head at, because you hear stuff that you just kind of go, wow, I can't believe that. Because folks are saying things that they said the last time. For example, you hear, oh, it's different this time, but I'm not sure about that. When you look at things like income inequality, it's worse now than it was in 2008. The same thing with the wealth gap. It's worse now than it was in 2008. I'm a single guy. When I look at the numbers, I'm very fortunate. I'm easily in the top 5% in terms of income, and easily in the top 5 or 4% in terms of wealth. So I feel very blessed and fortunate, but I'm also extremely worried, and it's just nagging feeling. And I don't know if I'm just being paranoid or pessimistic, or if I should give it a little bit of heed. I guess I am giving it some heed by having such a large cash position. But yeah, I'm worried. Honestly, I'm worried. There's a lot of things going on, at the government level that doesn't inspire a lot of confidence either. All this talk about tariffs and nationalistic protectionist policies and trade wars and what have you. I don't think it's going to bode well. So, that's what I feel. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong. And then I'll move back into the market. Coincidentally, even though I'm only 75% invested, I am beating the S&P 500 in terms of returns. It's only 0.5%, but I'm still beating it. So I'm still doing well. So I don't feel that bad for having such a large cash position. But don't get me wrong, I'm worried. I hope it's not true, but it's been 10 years. And while some things have changed, there's a lot of deja vu. So anyways, that's just random thoughts. Take it as you will. And like I said, hopefully it doesn't come to pass. But anyway, sorry to be such a downer on a beautiful Sunday, but had to get that off my chest. Thanks for listening.